Today we'll be talking about the Kappa, the terror of Japanese rivers. Kappa are among Japan's most famous yokai, the supernatural creature abound in manga, anime, and other entertainment, but also appear in television commercials and as promotional mascots for local authorities. This testifies to a powerful shared image in Japan on their appearance and characteristics. Contemporary Japanese people typically visualize Kappa as having green, hairless bodies shaped like that of a human child. They have smooth, circular dishes on their head with a kind of hair growing around it, and pointed beaks like birds, which are often yellow. On their backs, they have what looks like a turtle shell, and their hands and feet are webbed. Kappa live in rivers and ponds, where they catch hold of the feet of swimmers, dragging them to a watery death. Despite the monstrous activity, the Kappa of today are often seen in cartoons form as cute and merry, mischievous characters. The Edo influence. Today's idea of a Kappa once coincided fairly recently for the 19th to 20th century and is quite remote from former traditions. Even the name of the creatures themselves once varied by region. In the Edo period, 1603 to 1868, they were known as Kawataro or Gitaro in the Kamigato area around Kyoto and Osaka. Until the 18th century, Kamigata was Japan's cultural center. Thus, at that time, documents used the term Kawataro, with Kappa noted only as a regional variation. In the 19th century, however, the rise of woodblock printing gave Edo, now Tokyo, an unassailable lead in publishing, which brought with it a complete cultural shift. The Edo variant, Kappa, now became mainstream just as Tokyo dialect became standard Japanese in modern time. A changing image. Kappa were also thought of as mammals like monkeys or otters until the 18th century rather than reptiles or amphibians. The 15th century dictionary collection of Low Studies describes how when otters became old they turned into Kawaro, which is the oldest reference on record to Kappa. The term Kawo from Kappa is also found in the Japanese-Portuguese dictionary compiled by Jesuit missionaries in Nagasaki in 1603. It is defined as a monkey-like creature that lives in the rivers. In the 19th century, however, Kappa with turtle shells became predominant, just as with the word Kappa. This was due to Edo influence, buoyed by printed materials and especially visual media like ukiyo-e prints. What was once a minor variant nationwide soon established a new standard. For example, Katsuhika Edo convenience is depicted with pointed beaks as well as shells and bodies like different kinds of turtles. In his manga, sketched by Hokusai picture book, other artists would sometimes color Kappa bodies green, perhaps due to an association with frogs. There is also no evidence of previous traditions for green Kappas or a connection with the amphibians, but their webbed feet and similarities in outline to young children apart from their heads suggest that some artists chose frogs as convenient models for the imaginary creatures. The main point I would like to stress here is that the Edo period are the reason people now think of Kappa as green. The cuter Kappa? In the Edo period, Kappa and the other yokai were characters in the illustration book that were the equivalent of today's manga. They were depicted as comical figures with their original terrifying nature, as seen in their tendencies to drown unwary humans. considerably toned down. While this was one stage in the development to the contemporary Kappa, it was not until the 1950s that the creature were portrayed as straightforwardly cute. Kappa Heaven were massive hits that instigated a Kappa boom. His endearing vision of the water-dwelling Yokia became a mascot for Tokyo Citizen Day on October 1st each year, and also appears in commercials for snacks and sake. Shimizu's character were instrumental in creating a kawaii image for Kappa, a terrifying past. The transformation of the Kappa via mass media has made it into a very different beast from its traditional four-beast, particularly in the loss of its nightmarish reputation. Kappas were once said to drag humans, cattle, and horses into the water and devour their inner organs and a mythical ball inside the anus. They would also rape women and force them to have their children and drive people mad or make them sick. In folklore, Kappa are commonly said to enjoy sumo, and this may seem superficially charming, but not if they pull defeated humans beneath the water or otherwise harm them, reverted at shrines. Even these frightening Yokias could sometimes bring people benefits. One legend in a number of areas tell of a Kappa that had its hand chopped off after touching a woman's bottom while she was in the toilet. In exchange for receiving the hand again, the Kappa shared the secret of how to make a miraculous medicine. In another kind of story, a Kappa tried to drag a horse into the water, but itself pulled up onto land. It is only forgiven after swearing never tried to drown the villagers again. With the later kind of story, there is sometimes records of the creature's promise, or in some cases it is celebrated as a water deity. These stories are reminiscent of Japanese ancient legends for the Age of Gods, with the Kappa as a kind of natural spirit. The Japanese people of that day were in awe of nature, and they sought to gain a measure of control over its threats by giving it concrete form as kami or yukia. The Kappa represented the terrors of nature in the form of rivers, ponds, and the sea. It only needed one mistaken act for even the best of swimmers to drown. Kappa were invented to cause against. Today, no swimming signs beside rivers and ponds often particular folklores or anything like that, just let me know down below in the comment section. I love you guys, stay safe, and I will see you in the next video.